All right, we're gonna talk about decoys today. Um, Everybody has their own opinion, their own likes, their own dislikes about certain types or brands of decoys. Um, for the longest time, I have been a Flambeau man. I've always liked Flambeau, and I guess it goes back to, they've been around forever. They're one of the first decoy makers, plastic decoy makers there was, and then everybody else came along, Green Headgear, Avian X, and so on. Well, the Green Headgear, is a good brand. I'm not knocking the Green Headgear. I used to be a Green Headgear man. I bought these Green Headgear Green Wing Teal decoys. Pretty good detail compared to the Flambeau. There are differences. The Flambeau, they kind of the paint scheme is about the same, but a little different in the same way. But the biggest issue I had with Green Headgear is, they have a 60/40 sand weighted keel. Well, they have this little cap right here on the back. Now you can't take that off, but I've had lots of them to leak. I throw my decoys out before daylight, getting ready to set up, and after the hunt's over, I pick up my decoys, and it's got water in it. That just really is kind of a pet peeve of mine, I guess, because in my mind, I'm paying anywhere from $40 to $80 for a set of decoys, depending on the size and species and whatnot, and how many comes to a package. Depends on what you pay. But you pay, like I said, $40 to $80 for a set of decoys. You go pick it up and it's got water sloshing in it. To me, that's just bad. It's just a bad vibe. Puts a bad taste in my mouth. In my mind, that's somebody dropped the ball in quality control. That specific decoy, that model shouldn't have gotten out the door. That shouldn't have left the factory if it was defective like that. Is the water inside the decoy going to hurt anything? No, but it's just something that bothers me. Flambeau, on the other hand, they make a pretty good decoy. It's extremely durable. This particular decoy here looks pretty rough. I've had this decoy since 2011. This particular set, which I am replacing this year, by the way, because they done seen enough time on the water and in and out the boat. But anyway, they have this is the Flambeau Stormfront Decoy Edition. To me, when the Stormfronts came out back in 2011, 10 or 11, they were it. They were the best looking decoys on the market, hands down. That was Avian X was kind of just coming onto the scene, but they really wasn't making duck decoys yet. They were just making, turkey decoys and whatnot like that. But anyway, back to the Flambeau. They have a 60/40 with sand weighted keel, but on the end you'll see they don't have the cap like a Green Headgear. It's where the hole was. The plastic is melted and molded and formed over that. I've never had a Flambeau Stormfront decoy leak. Never. Not from defectiveness. Now I have had some that I picked up and they had water in them, but they also had some holes in them where some low birds were shot over the spread, and they were shot, and that's why they had water in them. But it wasn't from leaking from the keel. This is a Green Wing Teal Flambeau Stormfront. Also, this is a brand new decoy. Actually, I had to get some new teal decoys this year because mine had done been through the ringer, and I still had a lot of these Green Headgears in the spread, which held water, and it just got under my skin. So I replaced them this year with the Flambeau Stormfront decoy. Detail work on them, not that great, but decoys have come a long way since the Stormfront model actually came on the market. So I think over time with Flambeau, I think they'll put a little more effort and time into their detail work. But regardless, I think overall they make a good decoy. Last year I got these Gadwall decoys. Now this is an Avian X decoy. Now let me tell you, I was sold on Avian X from the time I first put my hands on this decoy out of the box. Great detail work. I mean, that eye, I don't know if you can see the eyes on these things, but that eye, I mean, looks real. They're very soft. See how you can just squeeze that in? You can't do that. You can't do that with a Flambeau. You get a couple of these Flambeaus. You get a whole set of these Flambeaus in the boat. When you're picking them up, this is what you hear. That's what you hear when you're picking up decoys. Picking up your Texas rigs. You got them on the carabiner. You're dragging them, and you hear them hitting each other. Well, when you throw them in the boat, they make a lot of noise every time you throw them in the boat. When you step back into the boat, you stepping on, kicking them out of the way. They just make a lot of noise. I realize we're not deer hunting, but it's a lot of noise. So the Avian X is a very soft plastic. They don't make any noise if they're with light decoys. Now you pick up this set of decoys and they're in their own bag together. You throw them in there, they don't hardly make a sound because it's just the way they're made. The detail work on these decoys is incredible, in my opinion. Is unbelievable. So I was sold on Avian X, and I had made my mind up last year, about halfway through the season, that I was going to replace my entire spread with the Avian X brand decoys. Until a new decoy came onto the market and just came out. I don't have it yet, but I am, and when I get it, I'll do a review on it. Greenhead Gear, as much as I don't like Greenhead Gear, has came out with a pro grade XD mallard decoy. It is unbelievable. The detail work on that decoy, on those decoys, is unbelievable. I mean, it is the most realistic decoy I have ever seen. And they too, from what I've seen on them, they're pliable like the Avian X. So I'm going to get the pro grade XD Greenhead Gear mallard decoys, and I'm going to give them a shot. If they leak, I can tell you right now, if they leak, I'm doing my Greenhead Gear. I'm also replacing my wood duck decoys this year. The wood duck decoys I have now are the Flambeau Stormfront decoys, and they're a pretty good looking. They're a good looking decoy. At the time when those come out, they had very good detail work as far as the paint scheme. Wood duck has got hundreds of different colors, many different colors all over his head, the crest of his head, down his back, his wings, his side. So it takes a lot of attention to get that decoy to look really good. And Flambeau did a pretty good job back then. But now Avian X has come onto the scene, and they have, in my opinion, the best looking wood duck decoy on the market. So I'm going to get the Avian X wood duck decoys, and when I get them, I also will do a review on them. But let's talk about rigging for a second. If you'll notice on this mallard decoy, and the same with the Gadwall, I've just got an egg weight tied on with a string, and it's wrapped around the keel. It's done like that for a reason. Where I hunt at on public land here in South Alabama, the river rises a lot. The water fluctuates a lot where I hunt. So a traditional Texas rig, unless I actually make it myself, is too short. A lot of times the decoy will float away. So we have to go with this style of wrap. of decoy rigging for your bigger ducks. Now in teal season, you'll notice these have the Texas rig on them. Teal season here comes in about the second weekend of September, and it's primarily dry and has been primarily dry through that time of the year here. So the water is relatively low. So a Texas rig, you know, is fine. Plus, with teal, you know, you want to get into the shallowest water you can. They like really, really shallow water, almost a mud flat, because they'll be out walking around feeding. So, you know, it really doesn't come into play so much during teal season. So, you know, we go with this traditional, I don't even know if it has a name, but we do, like I said, we do that because of the water depth. And of course, we try to get into the shallowest water we can. And most of the time, our holes, the water on a normal water level, the water is shallow. But when the water, you know, you may have a big rain 2 days before up north Alabama or northern Tennessee, and all that water's got to come down. So when it gets here, the river jumps up 6-8 foot or more, and then of course your pool's level rise because the water starts backing up. And you know, you go from being in, you know, 1.5 foot of water to 4 foot of water. So, and that's when these Texas rigs, the pre-rigged, just don't work out. But I have always had a Texas rig on my teal decoys, and I had it on some of my big duck decoys for a while, but once I noticed it just wasn't working out, I got away from it. But this year on my teal decoys, this is the Rig 'em Right Texas rig. It's pretty impressive. I've never seen one that was this simple. Matter of fact, when I made mine, I didn't even do it like this. But see, this has a ring with a twisted ring, and that slides. So you pick your decoys up, you know, you got your carabiner hooked into your loop, your eye here, and then the weight slides down to the decoy. Then when you throw it out, you know, see it falls, and then there it is. I'm kind of interested to see how this is going to do, if this is going to stay under the water or not with this system. I'm going to do a review on that after teal season to see, you know, with this floating, depending on how shallow the water is this going to float up, stick out of the water, you know. I hope not. But it's pretty nice system, and that's the Rig 'em Right Texas rig package. It comes a dozen rigs to a box. They're like $40. I gave them a shot this year. We're gonna try them out. But in the past, if you'll notice, I got the string on here. Normally, I buy the black. I guess I don't know what it is. I guess it's some type of like rubber cord. I guess decoy cord. I think is what they call it. I don't know about where y'all live all over the country. I've never hunted anywhere besides Alabama, but after about halfway through the season, being exposed to the elements and the water, the freezing temperatures and stuff, that rubberized cord gets brittle, and I have been rolling my decoys up or throwing them out, and the weight break off, and the weight's gone, and then the decoy's out there with no weight. But this, the Texas rig, the Rig 'em Right Texas rig actually has, this is more like it's more like a plastic than a rubber. So kind of curious to see how that's gonna hold up. But it's pretty hard. It's very hard, but it doesn't have much of a memory. So we'll see how it holds up. But yep, I have 2 channels, Hunting the Black Belt and Wilcox Waterfowl. I would love for everyone to subscribe to both. Most of my review videos, duck hunting preparation, blind maintenance, building, scouting, and hunting videos will be on the Wilcox Waterfowl channel. I will probably will post both on both channels, the Hunting the Black Belt and the Wilcox Waterfowl, until my subscribers get more and more on the Wilcox Waterfowl channel. The channel's only 2 days old, so right now it has no subscribers. So those of you who are subscribed to me on Hunting the Black Belt, please look me up, Wilcox Waterfowl, hit that sub button, and let's get this thing going. And hey, you watch the videos, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. I respect everybody's opinion. I'd like to know your opinion, what you think about the video, what you think about, share your comments, tell me what you like. You know, this is the only decoys I've ever dealt with. It's Flambeau, Green Headgear, and Avian X. If you have some preferences or know something about another brand that I haven't spoken about or never tried before, please shoot me a comment on it. I love your comments, and I will reply to you, I promise. So, you know, if you know something better than what I've got here and what I've seen, please let me know. I'll be glad to give it a shot. I sure will. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Look for those subscriptions. Thank you for watching.